Ralph and Madeline, it's wonderful to be here with you. It's of course wonderful to be here with our new hosts and to be able to share in something that I know is very important to all of us, and that is how you can change how the culture of our society works. As a politician and as a lawmaker, people sort of have all sorts of expectations about what you can change and do by changing a law. You can't change a law and make people kind. You can't change a law and change their attitude or their behaviour. I wish we didn't need these laws that deal with the most extreme circumstances that occur as a result of what are much earlier failures in the system, in our society. And for Thomas and Stuart, who we remember, I think this is one of the most positive possible ways, I think, that you can respond. And I'm sure His Excellency and Mrs. Hurley would agree, knowing them as I do, that you've got to start these interventions way up front. And you've got to change the way that people think, and you've got to change the way that people deal with each other. Jenny is always doing this by example, I find, and she's a great example in this, and I try and follow her, but I'm a long way behind. As you've all seen how Parliament works, so that Gabriel knows all about that, as does my predecessor, Bruce Baird, as I understand, is here tonight as well. Good to see you too, Bruce. And he has always, I know, had this view about the way you influence society is by your own behaviour. And so by being kind in July, I'm doing dry July as well at the moment, so being kind and a dry July is a bit of a challenge. It makes you a bit grumpy. But I'm not doing too bad, am I, Jim? I'm doing quite well. I was very nice to the New Zealand Prime Minister today, so but I had a lot to do with the Diamonds winning, I think, last night, so, which I didn't mention too much. But I want to thank you all for getting in behind this wonderful event, but also this cause. And I want to thank the Governor-General and Mrs. Hurley for opening up their place for you to come. This is the first event that has been held here by His Excellency and Mrs. Hurley, and I think it's very apt that it is an event of this nature, and an event that really, I think, does touch on things in our own home city here in Sydney, and how they play out. Because if we can do that, then all the other investments and all the other things we're doing, I think, will have a much bigger impact. I mean, we're investing significant amounts, particularly in supporting mental health. And we know that much of the anxiety whether it's impacting on younger people or it's impacting on those who are at senior age and they're in aged care facilities or in in-home care, and they can become very isolated and their mental health is affected by that. But indeed, the highest rate of suicide in Australia at the moment is for men aged 45 to 50. And it's not always mental health related, and we know that to be the case. So if there is a society that is more embracing and that puts its arms out rather than its arms up like that to everybody, then I think all the other efforts that we make will have a much bigger impact. And so to you, Ralph, Madeline, thank you so much for the way you've invested yourselves and the way that you've responded. Acts of grace like this are the way, I think, to encourage better behaviour from right across the community. And I know that's your hope through this initiative, and I know it's being responded in kind by all you being here tonight. So I'm very pleased to be here, and I wish you well for it, and hopefully get to see you a bit before we pop back home. I wish, of course, His Excellency and Mrs. Hurley all the best for this first event. I know there will be many. And have you sung yet? Have we sung? Outstanding, outstanding, excellent. Well, thank you all very much. It's great to be here, and I wish you all the best.